We are live. Let me see how I sound first before I do anything, because this is the new microphone, and I want to see if it sounds good. Oh yeah, it sounds good. Never mind. All right, let me just back up the mic a little bit because it's kind of loud. All right, so judging by if everyone saw the title, that I don't even know if anyone's freaking here because there's no one here at all. Oh no, never mind. I spoke too soon. All right, so we're gonna be talking about Bernie and Lillie, much like the last two streams I did about talking about the films that I've made. I think one of them was Frederick Multiverse Dangers. We talked about the OG plans for the film, and then even Mark was explaining why the film took so long. If he does pop up on here, then I'll have him on here so we can talk about the film together. And then the second one was about Corrupted Mind, the OG plans for the film. So today we're talking about Bernie and Lillie. It finally came out in a scuffed state, but I'm happy with the film. You guys absolutely loved it for its comedy and the overall story. I'm happy for that. And before you ask, I don't know what's going to become of Path Within, aka Foxy's movie. I don't know, honestly. I'm trying to debate on what I'm going to do with it. But anyway, we're going to talk about the OG draft of the film, which, if I'm not mistaken, was called Bernie and Lillie Mission Vacation, which was the OG draft of the film. So, first and foremost, Bernie and Lillie's movie was on my mind for quite a while. I think after Francine came out, I was dreading on the idea of which characters deserved their own solo film. And the choices were between Mason, Roxy again, and Bernie and Lillie. And I was like, well, let's just do Bernie and Lillie. That would be a cool idea for a movie. And I started jotting down some ideas on what the film could be about. And I settled on a Mission Impossible style parody movie that had Bernie and Lillie in it, where they were basically tricked into going into a mission for Lefty. So yeah, Lefty was in the movie originally. That was before he became evil. But yeah, so the plot would have been they went to New Orleans, they had a great time until days into their vacation, Bernie and Lillie encounter Lefty, and they were revealed that what was really going on is that they were hired, they were unknowingly hired, that they were sent on a mission to do a sting operation type of scenario. And Mr. Big was actually going to be one of the red herrings of the movie, not going to lie. So yeah, the red herring was that Mr. Big was this crime boss, part of voodoo stuff, because the movie was set originally in New Orleans, which was a vacation that I actually took. I couldn't film over there because of obvious reasons, and also I got sick, so that was, and also really bad too. So yeah, they're after this voodoo amulet that could grant curses onto people. That was one of the MacGuffins of the movie. So yeah, it was a lot of stuff. So they went after Mr. Big. They find out he's not really a bad guy. He's a really good dude. And then Lefty finally reveals that he was set up for this because he wanted the amulet to cause a curse on Team Fazbear and the members. So Lefty was basically a plot twist villain, but everyone already knew that Lefty was a bad guy. So it's not really surprising, but this movie was going to really touch upon Lefty as a villain. And he's not a pathetic villain, honestly. I think he would have put up a really good fight. But yeah, then the movie would have ended Bernie and Lillie and Mr. Big, they all survive. They all survive Lefty's attempt at assassinating them, and then Lefty gets arrested, and then Bernie and Lillie find out he get a really good vacation in Hawaii, which I never went to, but I was I was trying to make it seem like that. So yeah, that was the OG plot of the film. The original film was actually only 51 minutes long. Yeah, that's not a good sign. I think that's one of the reasons why I didn't like the film as a whole, because it was short. It didn't have really anything going on for it. And I liked Mr. Big as a red herring, and I liked that Lefty was the main antagonist of the film. but there was something about the story that wasn't clicking to me, and I didn't like it. So I talked to Mark because me and him were both like heavily dedicated to this film. So I talked to Mark. We both were like, let's come up with fresh ideas. Then I was still set on the Mission Impossible type movie. And then I released a teaser about maybe like 2 years ago by this point of Bernie and Lillie in Mission Impossible style with London hanging onto the rope and there's like lasers pointing up their heads. So yeah, the movie was still going to be like Mission Impossible type style movie. But then I scrapped that idea again before I started writing because I didn't like the idea again. So now I'm just like, I'm struggling to figure out what to do with this film. I filmed it like literally 3 years ago. By this point, the film originally was filmed 3 years ago. It was done. It just needed music, but I didn't like what it was coming. I didn't like the story. I didn't like what was going on. You speak of my name. Hello, Mark. So yeah, Mark and I were heavily like working on this film. We both like were coming up with story ideas. Actually, this was like the first time we've ever like collaborated this kind of level of at least ECU films as a whole. But yeah, Mark, I was just talking to them about the OG like plot of the story. I don't know if I can add you. I don't know if you're busy, just so like we can talk about what was going on behind the scenes of the film. But I don't know, like there wasn't really like that much like trouble behind the scenes as Multiverse Dangerous was. Because I know Multiverse Dangerous like really took a toll on all of us, honestly. And then what was I talking about? Oh yeah. So the OG film was scrapped. I couldn't figure out what to do with the film. I was struggling to figure out what to do with the film. And I was on like I was on the bridge of actually canceling the film as a whole. But then I remember the other day, this was like roughly, I want to say a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago. I was watching like social media and I heard about the story of this stone in Japan, this paranormal, supernatural like stone in Japan, where legend states that it was holding an evil like spirit entity in the form of a nine-tailed fox, or at least what they call it, kitsune. And then that's when the story clicked to me. I immediately voice called Mark. Wait, no, I voice messaged him. I don't know if I still have the recordings, but I voicemailed him. I was freaking out. I'm like, Mark, I came up with the idea. And I shared him with the idea. And we were like, okay, it's good. Let's do it. So yeah, that's where the inspiration of the story came from, is that it was on the news. Like it was like this supernatural like story of a killing stone in Japan, and it cracked open. Actually, there's actually like a myth that it cracked open, and now the spirit like is out there, and now everyone's believing like this spirit is the reason why all the shit that's going on in the world right now. It's because of that. So yeah, that's where the story came from. The story came from a myth, a literal real life myth that originated from Japan, and then I was like, yeah, that's the story. Let's go with it. So yeah, we're gonna talk about damn, what was I gonna talk about? Because I already talked about I'm not really doing anything at the moment, but you can drop me a link into my DM and I can join in like 5 minutes. Well, can I invite you on here? I don't know if we did it last time. How did we do it again? Did I remember the story? Yes, I did. I actually shared it just now about the OG plans, but I want to get Mark on here. I want to see if I can get him on here. Copy invite link. Can I leave this without? I don't know if I can. Can I? Mark, can I? You're the one that's an expert at this, all right? Just so we have it ready. Let me have my headphones ready to go because I'm using my microphone. But yeah, I already touched upon the original story idea of the film. You basically just send me an invite to the Mark. Just Mark, you son of a bitch. You basically just send me a okay. So yeah, but I don't know if it's. I don't know what happens if I leave. That's like my main concern. If I Mark, if I leave, will it shut down the stream? Will it do that? Figured I'd type it here because it's quicker than on YouTube. Yeah, I figured. Yeah, I figured. Let me ask him. I'm asking him really fast. Will it shut down if I leave the site? I need to know because I don't want it shutting down. I need to know, Mark. What's up, guys? I might invite others on here. If it's possible, then, I don't know. We'll see. Just so we can talk. Well, I don't know. I need to do something today. My brother took my car because his truck was not working. Basically, you can leave it. It won't end the stream. I've done it a lot. So basically, yeah, you won't. Okay, we're good. Okay, so give me like a minute or two, guys. I'm going to send the link to Mark. No, not Chloe. There we go. Okay, send it. Send it! God damn it, send it! Get out of the way, you stupid keyboard button. Okay, we're back. Yeah, my brother took my car because he needed it for today, so I let him have it. That'll be noon if you okay, work, guys. We're good. We're good. Let me get my headphones ready. Yeah, you guys should see my setup right now. Look at this. Look at this. I'm very professional now. This is my brand new microphone. This is the new mic that I'm using for comic dubs, covers, basically any shit. And then got it plugged into the headset so I can actually hear people. So I'm professional, guys. I am very, very professional. Don't mind the hairdo. I just got out of the shower. But yeah, let me show you guys around the setup really fast if I can. Can I turn this around? What about back camera? Okay, here we go. Wait, it's reversed. What the fuck? It's reversed. Hold on. Can I fix that? No, I can't. But yeah, switch two bags. If I can. Yeah, there's my pegboard. Switch 2 and switch 1. My monitor, my speakers. Oh man, this is messing me up really bad. Yeah, there's my monitor. And then of course you guys saw the microphone. But yeah, I've grown up, guys. I've grown up a lot. I don't know, if these streams are possible, maybe we can do like other types of streams, but it just depends on people's time schedules. One idea I did have was when Bubsy 4D is going to come out, I thought about getting Katie on the stream and then we can dub the dialogues that aren't like voiced in the game. So like I would do Bubsy and Virgil and she would do Oblivia, Teresa, and Terrence as for fun. I don't know. Okay, I gotta be careful. But yeah, that's just like an idea because these streams are possible, but video game live streams are much more complicated because I don't have the equipment. I don't have a PC. I do have a laptop, but I need to get the stuff off of there because that's my brother's laptop. Yeah, my brothers give me their stuff because I'm too poor to afford anything. Aside from this, but that's because it's my money and I bought it because I wanted it. Just waiting on Mark to get here. He said he'd be here in like a minute or two, but I don't know when. Oh, I'm tired. I'm like really tired too. If you guys are wondering how the film's going, or Mason, I don't really know. I started working on it again, which is good. But I'm going through a bit of a dilemma. Not gonna lie, guys. It's not easy being an animator. If this was like a 20-second like short film, I would have been fine with it. But since it's 6 minutes and I did this to myself, I'm now regretting that decision that the film needs to be 6 minutes. So it's either one, cut the film in half, or hire or have maybe my friends who are animators like help out with the film. I'm not really sure. You absolute mad lad for being in class and watching the stream. Guys, I'm gonna say this again. Don't watch streams if you're in class. Don't, because you're gonna get caught and then you're gonna get in trouble. Unless it's like a class that no one really gives a shit about. Like classes in college, like they really like don't care. Like they don't care as long as you just do the work. Like that's what I do. I do my work and then it just boom, good grades all the way through. But yeah, let me fix my camera angle. Or maybe it's just me, the way I'm sitting right now, but I'm not sure. Microphone. Try to fix it. I don't know if it's loud though. That's mostly all of my classes. I swear, guys, the chat for the movie Bernie and Lillie, I lost it when Miku showed up in the film. And then I look in the chat and I see, why can't I move my eyes? Why can't I move my mouth? Is this an eternal dialogue? I can't see the end of the horizon. Hatsune Miku! Is that you guys are funny. I love you guys for that. See, this is why I love my fans so much. You guys understand the memes, the jokes, and overall, you guys just laugh at what I do. That's why I love you guys as my fans. I'm grateful to have great fans. Trust me, I am. There we go. You guys are very funny. I haven't heard from Mark. All right, well, he's probably taking his sweet time. That's fine. I just got a message from Rose, who, aka Francisca. Say, yeah, we're working on the next comic dub, and right now I'm waiting the response from both Nick and Susan's voice actors to work on the next dub. So I'm awaiting their response just so we can get it done. But yeah, you guys are probably gonna ask, or I don't know if anyone's ever gonna ask, but yeah, I work with Fanaflix now. That's fucking insane to me that I work with her now. Well, I collaborate. I shouldn't say work with, I should say collaborate. You know, like, okay, Mark is here now. I think he's coming. But yeah, it's insane to me that I already knew that she follows my accounts. I already know that. She just follows whoever, honestly. Whatever interests her, that's fine. But never in a million years would I expect her to drop in out of nowhere and drop an audition for Roxy. I didn't even know it was her. I really didn't. So yeah, after I saw the audition from Chloe, I was just like, oh my gosh, she actually nailed it. Then I look at her audition, her profile, and then I see her name, and I'm just like, no way, that's her. And then I immediately go to Instagram and I message Chloe or FNAF. I'm just gonna call her Chloe. I message her, and I'm like, "You auditioned for Roxy?" And she's like, "Yup." Okay, Fang. I'm gonna call you Fang. Fang just asked, cool. And also, will we ever see Bernie and Lillie? Yes, you guys will. Bernie and Lillie will definitely be back in the Francisco Fighters. Maybe as background characters. I'm not really sure. Paul just asked, will Bubsy appear in Video Game All-Stars? I'm gonna be dead ass with you guys. I forgot that series existed. Although I would like to get back into it. I have Rayman. Rayman's in one of the bins actually. As for Bubsy, that's a strong maybe though. If I ever get back into Video Game All-Stars for fun, because I stopped plush tubing because I wanted to focus on animation, and I still do. Believe me, I still do, despite me not really animating as much as I want to, or as much as I used to. Mark, you there? I can't see you. Mark! Man, Bernie really wanted to go to the Pokemon Center. He did, don't worry, guys. Bernie went to... Actually, there was going to be a whole ass montage at the end of the movie. It was like during playing the credits, though. Hey, Rose! Or Francine? I don't know who to call you, but... Quick hello before I get dinner. Hi, Rose. Guys, that's Francisca. I love working with her so far. She's super talented. I love working with everyone else. I haven't worked with everyone yet in the fighters, but I can guarantee that I'm very excited and nervous at the same time. So, hi, Rose. Thank you for dropping by. I didn't expect you to show up. I don't see you. Mark! God damn it, Mark. Okay, there he is. I found him.
Good
Okay,
evening.
jolly good. Okay, I'll stop.
Yeah, I'm not even kidding. The browser was being a bit of a dick to me. It was saying that my microphone and camera were blocked. I thought,
That's
wow,
weird.
that's great, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know why it happened, but
Can you hear me just fine?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. The mic is working then. Perfect. That's all I care about. All right, so I'm just looking at the questions really quick. Yeah, someone say, yeah, you told me you didn't really want to add more runtime because the film was already past due, right? No, it's not that the film was already past due. The film was canceled first and foremost because there was no motivation to finish it after this guy over here said that he wasn't going to work on the film anymore. I'm not throwing you under the bus. I'm explaining it to them in the nicest way that I can.
Oh my god. I mean, the best way to put it is I basically fucked off.
But no, Mark has always been the guy who was always supportive of these projects. He really was. So that's not saying that he abandoned the project. No, he was still there. He was still there on the project regardless. And it got quiet. Now it's awkward. Fantastic.
See, right, if I had my camera off, you would have seen I actually nodded. I actually did nod, but obviously you didn't see it because I don't have my camera off.
Mm-hmm. But I guess we should start by I guess what was the OG plans for the music or the soundtrack for the film? I guess we can talk about both the original plot and the new one as well.
Yeah, I mean the original idea for the music. This is before we decided to turn it into scary horror kind of thing. That's before we added the horror. Well, before you added the horror.
Yeah,
that was before you added the horror elements. I can't speak. But before all that, it was going to sound. I don't know. It was gonna sound like a fucking James Bond soundtrack.
Yeah, I remember I saw the original main theme of the movie, and it was basically just Mission Impossible, but your style.
It was literally just a knockoff version of Mission Impossible, and someone pointed that out to me, and someone also then said to me, That sounds very similar to James Bond as well. And I thought, well, okay.
I thought it was funny. I thought it was like a really funny gag, like for the film. I was going for
I mean,
it.
from a copyright standpoint, it probably wasn't the best idea, but yeah.
Probably wasn't, no, but it was funny. I liked it regardless.
Yeah. And then, like, I think when we started doing the horror stuff, I was gonna try and go for, like, Japanese meets, I don't know, Danny Elfman horror, but we all know how that turned out.
I would have loved to see how that would have turned out. I really would have, like, being honest with you.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't know. It's bit like when it came up to me, just being like, yeah, no, I'm basically done with plush projects as a whole. It's just like, I don't know. It's like there's something that dawned. Like I was just sat there, and then I thought, do I really want to keep doing music for plush projects?
That's fair that's fair of you to think that, though. That's really fair. I never said anything negative about your opinion. I respected it for one,
no,
but also I understood why, because you said it doesn't really look good on your portfolio. It doesn't look good on there.
Portfolio.
Yeah. But yeah, I get it. I 100% get it.
Yeah. No, it's like if someone searches up, oh, let's see, Bernie and Lillie. Oh yeah, that looks interesting. Let's just search it up. Oh, thumbnail looks animated. I wonder if it's a fully fledged animated. No, that's not. Okay.
Yeah, there you go. The thumbnail throws them off. I feel like that was unintentional, but also intentional when it comes to the film's thumbnails as a whole. It's to throw them the fuck off.
Thing is, like, I've shown clips of like the plush movies that I have done with you to some people, and they give me weird looks, and it's like,
Well, for one, you're the one who came to me about Francisca. You came to me about that.
Yeah.
That's to be fair. In my defense, that was all on you. That you came to me first.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And then ever since then, we just worked on the films as a whole. The only ones that were really completed were Francisca, that was obvious. Frederick MD, which took too fucking long, but we already talked about that film. We already talked about it.
Yeah.
And then we were trying to get Bernie and Lillie done before we took a 180 and then just got the film done as a whole. In which the film is fine as it is. I like it as it is. It's still a good time.
Yeah, like, you know, I don't know. It's just plush movies as a whole. I don't know. It's just like, it doesn't help, right? And I'm just going to be, like, very, like, honest here. I'm not exactly comfortable with people randomly messaging me, being like, hey, can you score my plush movie? I am not comfortable.
You said that to me a lot, and I already get it. I get it. You don't want...
Mm-hmm.
Especially if it's, I'm sorry to say this, everyone, especially if it's shitty plush films. I'm sorry. Especially if it's that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it just, I don't know, like, if you really think about it, the final plush movie I have ever scored is the one that I did for Tracy, which is
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it yet. I want to, though, but I've been too busy, honestly. I've been trying to get stuff done.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's only very short. It's only nearly 4 hours long.
Jesus Christ.
It is.
But yeah, I remember when you told me about the project that you were part of. I wouldn't say I lost my mind, but I was shocked that you would work with Tracy. I was shocked by that.
Yeah, like I think the way it happened is like I randomly DM'd her on Instagram.
Of course you did.
Yeah, of course I did. I randomly DM'd her on Instagram out of nowhere, and for a while I didn't get a response. But then I went back to it and thought, maybe I should put a follow-up message. And probably like a few days later, she then responded, and now I have her on Discord.
Wow! So you got connections.
Mm-hmm.
At first, I was jealous, but now I got connections with Netflix now, so I'm not jealous anymore.
Yeah.
I'd say that's a win.
So we both have our own famous connection.
We both got our own fair connections. But yeah, no, I still respect your decision, and that isn't gonna stop us from working together. That isn't.
Oh no.
We're still gonna work on other projects in the future if I can ever get Mason Origins done.
Mason, yeah.
Dude, I want to get it done. I really do, but. It's not that I don't want to animate. I'm just like struggling to find the motivation to get back into it.
Yeah. I will say this. For the music for Mason, I am going all out on that.
He is. I've heard it. I've heard it a lot recently, actually. I've been listening to it for a while, and it's really good.
I somehow managed to make Mexican trumpet. Oh, God.
Yeah, because the same went with Wolf and the Vixen. That's still your best work. I'm still considering it your best work. Though what I've heard so far from Mason is just a draft. So the final version could be better than Wolf and the Vixen.
Oh, yeah. And right, so I'm not even kidding, right? I'm going to just say it now. But for the Mason film, I somehow managed to make Mexican trumpets sound fucking emotional.
Oh man, never thought I'd hear you say that.
Nor did I. Like,
oh
I think I messaged it you. And I said,
you did message it to me. I actually saw it.
Yeah, and I said something like, I made mariachi trumpet sound emotional.
Yeah, but the vibe that you're going for, dude, like, it's clear as day that you're not kidding around. You never do.
Yeah, like...
You never really do. That's why I love working with you.
Yeah, it's like... For the segment it's for, anyway, I don't know why. I can imagine people probably imagine people rewinding to that bit, because it does slap a little on there.
It does. I agree.
But yeah,
I think overall, I think people are gonna love the film. They're gonna love it. I mean, it already went insane at the showcase. Everyone they laughed at the jokes and the gags. They laughed at it. That was my goal, was to have laughter in the theater.
Oh yeah, and the music's only going to elevate that.
Oh yeah, it's definitely going to elevate that way more.
Given
but overall,
that,
go ahead. Yeah. Sorry.
I was just gonna say something about it, but then I realized, is that probably a good idea? Because because technically it's not released, so I don't want to say anything about it.
Yeah. We're not gonna say much about it, but yeah. No, I'm very impressed by just everything about the film so far. Of course, animation, it looks good so far. I'm happy with it. I need to get back to work. I'm very impressed by the voice actors. I loved working with them. They were so much fun. But yeah.
The
VAs.
voice acting on point.
I was trying my absolute hardest because I knew doing a one session with all three of them together, that was impossible. No way that was going to happen. So I had to do 3 separate sessions with all 3 of them I think it was Jay was the first one I did the session with for Mason. He did amazing. Loved his performance. Second session I did was, who was it? I think it was Ken who did Sparky. Yeah, Ken was he was awesome. He did Sparky perfectly to the T.
Yeah, I'll say this. I also really love Sparky's voice as
He
well. It is
sounded
amazing.
he sounded almost how I exactly wanted him to sound. Like really, I really mean that.
Like when I was listening back to it whilst I was working on that segment, I just laughed because he did it so well.
Yeah, I was impressed. I was very much impressed, but I was like astounded that he did Sparky justice. He did him really justice. I was worried about Sparky, actually, not gonna lie. I was very worried about how Sparky was gonna really sound. Like, I was very worried.
Yeah, no, I can probably imagine that.
I wasn't as worried for Mason nor Michelle, but Sparky was my main concern because that was one I was struggling to figure out. How's this dude gonna sound? And then I think me and Ken spent like a good 25 minutes discussing voices. We talked about like Jim Carrey's Robotnik. We talked about Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog Robotnik. I think we talked about Sat AM Robotnik as well. We were talking about how should Sparky sound? What should we go with?
What did you end up going with at the end with that then?
I don't remember what specifically we went with, but like I don't know why, but Sparky sounded awfully a lot like Jack Black in a way. And then I was like, let's try that. Let's see how it sounds. And then we did a couple of the voice lines for from the storyboard that I did. We went off of that first and foremost, and then boom, it just clicked. Sparky was going to sound like that, and I loved it.
Yeah. Have people somewhat seen like I mean, people in general, have people somewhat already seen like a snippet of the first part?
If you watch the Instagram, or if you're following me on Instagram, you guys have already seen like the full like film as a whole. Like that's that's the entire film. But I've shown clips of the animation of Sparky. I don't think I've shared the animatic of the film to anyone yet, aside from the college and Instagram and all that. But that's really it. I mean, no one else has really seen the film as a whole. Like, no one has seen it completed because it's not completed.
Yeah.
And then last session I did was with, I think it was Katie. Yeah, Katie, who did Michelle. Yeah, she blew it out of the water for me. She really did. I remember her first audition was like I don't want to say super high pitched for Michelle, but it was like it wasn't what I was expecting her to sound like. So what I did was I messaged her on casting call. I told her what I was looking for, and then she did the audition again. And then after that, I was like, okay, yeah, she's probably she's got it. She's got it for the role. And then boom. And then ever since then, we started working with each other more on the Bubsy comic dubs and just anything Bubsy in general for the fun of it. And then we're probably going to get back to working on Francisco Fighters dubs when any other characters are needed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
back to... sorry. You were going to say something.
I was just going to say, I like how this just went from us talking about Bernie and Lillie, and now
I was just about to say. Okay, let's talk about Bernie and Lillie again. Okay, so I think I might have the script, or like one of the OG scripts of the, well, not the original film, but just like the second like story that I came up with. I don't know if it's still on here.
I think I might still go on.
I have it here.
Yeah. I think I might still have like some of the old music. Actually, now that I think about it, I think I've already released the old
It could
music.
be still on our. It could be still on the Discord. We keep a lot of like what we chat about in the Discord. Like it's still there. We haven't taken down anything. So anything that
Yeah.
we do happen to find, we'll probably share it here if we have the chance. But I don't know about screen recording. I don't know if that's possible. So yeah, I do have the original script right here, written back in what is that? July 12th of 2024. So that's like over a year ago by this point. That's when the first draft of the story was made. So
Yeah,
originally,
at first, my brain just... Oh, go on.
Yeah. So originally, Mr. Big was actually going to have a bigger role in the film before he got stabbed in the back, literally, by the Empress. So Mr. Big was like I wouldn't say crime boss. I don't know what the hell he was in the movie, in the final version of the movie. But yeah, he released the Empress, and he died doing so because he misspoke or he said something stupid in front of her. And then, boom, he's dead. But no, originally in the second draft of the film in Kitsune Empire, he was basically a tour guide for a museum. He was the head manager of the Killing Stone of the exhibit in the museum. So yeah, he was the guy that Bernie and Lillie went to learn more about the Empress. What was her goal? What was her intention? Why she was there at all? So Mr. Big was obviously gonna be used more in the movie, but then for some reason I changed it last second. I'm like, what if he just dies? I mean, he doesn't really have like an important role aside from like being this guy that Bernie and Lillie just go to learn more about the Empress. So yeah, Mr. Big was gonna have a bigger role in the film, but then I changed it for some reason. I don't know why. I still don't remember why.
I don't even think you told me why. I don't even think you told me why you changed it anyway.
I don't think I told you either. I don't even know myself why I changed it. Maybe it's just to show that the Empress was no joke and that she was actually evil. Could be that.
Probably.
I mean, she's definitely evil. She was definitely evil in the first draft as well. She was definitely more intimidating. Not to say that she wasn't in the new one, but I can definitely say that the Empress was definitely still evil. Like she was exactly what I wanted her to be, just full on evil for the game. She had a really like deep goal actually. Actually, I'm gonna talk about that now. So before she had her final form, which was the giant nine-tailed fox thing, that thing was actually really cool. I liked it. Her original goal was to basically put the whole world on a hostage, or like a, I want to say like a ticking time clock, where she needed Lillie to raise down the sun on Earth, only to put it back if the world would surrender to her, and basically became like a tyrant, like a literal like queen of the Earth. So that was like her original goal of the film. That's why she needed Lillie in the first place, because Lillie had the strongest of the nine tails, which was telekinesis, in which my opinion is by far the scariest superpower to have in any film. And I still stand by that. And then yeah, the final fight would have been, I don't think the final fight was as epic as I thought when I wrote it down, because the whole goal during the final act was get London out of there, stop the Empress, cut off her tails to weaken her, and then finish her off. In which they do when she was like really weak. She lost her tails. Bernie is like literally standing in front of her with his arms crossed, and she's just like trying to gain mercy and sympathy. I don't know, what did she say? I don't know. I'm gonna see if I can find it. I know it's in the script. I wrote it down. Where is it? It's probably like near the end. Where is it? Where is it? trying to find it. I know it's in the script. I wrote it. Where is it? It's like near the end during the climax. Where is it?
Imagine if this was a completely different version of the script that doesn't have it.
Oh, here we go. I found it. So I wrote it. Where is it? So okay, so she's kneeling down, she's weak, she lost all her tails, and then she begins to think that Bernie was gonna show mercy because he's a hero. She says, "Are you gonna show mercy?" And Bernie, being the absolute dumb idiot, but also the best Chad in the world, he's like, nah, and straight up just punches her into the sun. That's how she dies. It was actually pretty funny. I wish I kept that in the film. And then after the Empress dies, the sun was still moving down. So what Lily did was absorb all the 9 tails and became a goddess herself. So yeah, that was in the original draft of the film, that Lily was still going to become a goddess by the end and save the world. And then, oh, okay, let's talk about Inferno. Oh man, so happy with how he turned out in the film. So happy. Inferno was one of my favorite characters of the Destructive Six, not only because he was cool, but mainly because he was different from the other ones. We had no idea who he was, why he was there, what was his motivation. And then I was like, what if we just brought back Inferno for the film, give him a bigger role, give him actual speaking lines, and explain his motivation? In which, to be fair, that was not actually in the original draft. I put it in there because we needed to know why he even was in the Destructive Six in the first place. Like, what was his intention? Everyone had an intention, but we didn't know his because he didn't say much. So yeah,
I find it funny.
Yeah, go ahead.
I find it funny actually because if you think about it, in most of he doesn't even say anything apart from maybe
yeah,
like
true.
grunts or whatever, and then you have yeah.
And then you have him now picking a fight with Bernie. Yeah, he was definitely like one of my favorites.
Yeah, like all he did in Multiverse Dangers was just fucking grunt, and now in this one, in this he's just talking.
He talks. He actually has motivation, and he actually has character development. In the end, he does. Like throughout the entire film, he only did it because one, he wanted to avenge his clan that he lost by the Empress herself. The only 2 survivors that were left were him and his sister. Which, by the way, she wasn't even in the movie when I wrote the script. Akane was not even in the movie. She was thought about, I want to say, maybe a month or 2 before I started filming it. So Akane was not in the original script of the film. But yeah, so Inferno, he had his motivation was to take down the Empress, kill her, get revenge for everything he does, for everything that she did to his people. And then what else was there? Then later throughout the film, we obviously get to see him again. He saves Bernie only because like he just didn't want to see that. He knew that Bernie was innocent, so he saved his life. He fights Lee. I'm gonna talk about Lee later. I'm gonna talk about him later, but yeah, Inferno saves him, and then Bernie and Inferno get into a big fight. Bernie gets his ass kicked. Absolutely. Oh my god. That's the second time Inferno has won a fight against Team Fazbear members because he beat up Frederick and Bernie. That's what I find so cool about him, is that he was able to take both of them down with ease. Which explains because he's like a hardcore ninja, so he's more experienced, he's got more fighting skills, he's got more techniques. But then I don't understand how he lost against Frankie in Multiverse Dangers. How did he do that? I don't know how that happened. I think that's one thing I didn't like about Multiverse Dangers is like he kind of lost in Multiverse Dangers against Frankie. How did that happen?
I have no idea.
Even I don't know, and I wrote the movie. But yeah, that Inferno was definitely one of my favorite characters that I brought back for the film. I'm so glad that I did, because I think in one of the original drafts when he was brought back, was he was going to have a little connection with London when Bernie and Lillie leave the base of like the hideout that they were staying in, because they were actually hiding from the law, because for one, they broke into a museum, and two, they actually fought and beat up a bunch of security guards in the museum. So now they're wanted fugitives, and Inferno is helping them to hide until this all blows over. So yeah, Bernie and Lillie, they leave in disguise. Then London is left with Inferno, and they have like a little like interaction, wholesome interaction. It was one of my favorite scenes in the film that I wrote. But then I switched it to London and Akane when both Bernie and Inferno left to go get Hatsune Miku. Oh, no. That still feels so weird to fucking say that.
that came. I'm not even kidding. I think when I actually saw that in the film, I think even I messaged you like, "What the hell is Hatsune Miku doing there?"
Oh, dude, you should have seen the chat when she showed up in the film, man. It was funny. I was laughing the entire time. They quoted the meme of Storm from Sonic. What was it? Sonic Waves, Sonic Wavers, or Sonic Riders, Sonic Free Riders. Yeah. Yeah, well, it's like the dude is Hatsune Miku. Is that you? Someone literally quoted the entire thing into the chat, and I was laughing the entire time. And I was praying that someone would type that in the chat. So yeah, it was.
To be honest with you,
definitely funny.
That is not what I thought he was going to say. What I thought you were going to say was Hatsune Miku does not like British people.
That's funny too. Oh man, yeah. There's a lot of that. Okay, I guess I can talk about Miku now. Yeah, she was thought about last minute. No, she was not about last minute. I think she was. I think like during like the final stages of the film. This was like after Akane was added to the cast. I thought about the idea of what if Hatsune Miku just fucking showed up out of nowhere in the film, and then she just joins the fight, or what if she's like there? Like originally, Miku and Inferno were just like friends. Like that's really it. That's all they were. And then I was like, what if they're exes for some fucking reason? And then I just went with it, and now they're just like really good friends in the end of the movie. But yeah, Miku was not thought about last minute. It was like an idea I had before I started filming. And originally I was not going to go for it. I really wasn't, because I thought that would be an issue. But then I went for it anyway, and it turned out it was really funny. And I was glad that the reaction that everyone was reacting to was really funny. Okay, what else is there to talk about? So we talked about Inferno. We talked about Miku just now. Yeah, Akane. So Akane, she, like I said, she was thought about 2 months before the film began. I think originally she was going to be younger, maybe like around the same age as London was. But then I backed out of that idea because it wouldn't really make sense for her to be fighting at that kind of age. So, hold on. Yucky. So, yeah, I upped her age. She's around 18 in the film, so around Fia and Junior's age. So, and then, what the fuck was I going to say? I already forgot. I hate that. Mark, don't you hate when that happens, when you know what you're about to say and then you just forget it out of nowhere?
Happens all the time for me.
I'm like 20 and I'm already forgetting things. Jesus Christ, what is wrong with me?
Well, I'm nearly 21 and it happens to me. God, I feel
turned
old.
21 in like 4 months. Yeah.
Oh, Christ.
Yeah. It's funny too because now my family, they're saying, "Are you gonna have your first shot? Are you gonna have a drink?" I'm like, "No." I said it many times in the past that I don't ever want to drink. That's my choice. And then some people would say, like, "Well, having a drink is like being an adult." No, it's not. You don't need to have a drink to be an adult. Being an adult is just you growing up, taking responsibilities. Okay, back to what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, Akane, she was thought about 2 months ahead before the film began production. She was originally going to be younger, but I upped her age to 18. And then I think originally Akane was just like a partner to Inferno, which is why I put the joke in Bernie saying, "So I reckon you guys are dating," and then Inferno's like, "She's my sister," because that was what the original like role of her was. But then I changed it to being his sister because it only makes sense that Inferno and Akane, two of the most skilled, they're really skilled. I think that Akane is more dangerous than Inferno. Like it showed in her fighting scene when she pinned down one of the guards and then literally started stabbing them. Like Jesus Christ, she's that aggressive and dangerous, and she's younger too, so she's got more energy. But also, I think it's a good different contrast between both Inferno and Akane, which I think is another reason why I added her to the film. Because Inferno, he'll only fight when he absolutely needs to, and even on the inside, like him emotionally, he's drained, he's tired, he's literally lost everything, and now he has a final chance to get back revenge on the person who literally slaughtered his entire like clan, his family, and all he has left is his sister. So like the different contrast between them is Inferno is more collected, he's more reasoning, yet Akane is more like straight to the kill. I don't care who you are. If I don't know you, I don't know you, you're dead. So that's like the difference between the two is that she's more dangerous, she's more reactive when it comes to certain scenarios. Yet Inferno observes from afar, which is why he didn't attack Bernie until he absolutely needed to. He was waiting for something to happen, and then boom, he strikes in, goes for the kill, but he didn't kill Bernie right then and there, mainly because he was trying to figure out who this guy was. What the hell are you doing here? You shouldn't be here. So yeah, very difference in contrast. And it's not to say that Akane doesn't have a big heart, which she really does. Hence why the scenes with London and Akane occurred in the film, where she comforts him and reassures that everything was going to be fine, that Raven was not going to hate London for not getting her a gift from the trip that they took to Japan in the movie. So yeah, Akane is more like she's aggressive, but she's got a bigger heart too, and that she's also reasoning, but it just depends on the situation at hand. And also who she's hanging around with. Hence why she doesn't get aggressive with London because he's a kid. Because what is a kid gonna do? What else? What else did they talk about? Oh yeah, there was actually a cut scene from it was in the original ending of the film. I believe like it's like one of the first like endings I filmed. So one of the original endings of the film was after the Empress was defeated, she was killed, she was gone. Bernie, Lillie, and London, they all leave to the airport to head back home. Inferno, Akane, Lee, and Miku were all there to say their farewells. And this is one of my favorite scenes. Akane walks up to London, she kneels down, and then she gives him a Fire Clan badge from their, from, I wouldn't say like it's a cult, it's more like a clan because they're more like a family more than anything. So she gives it to him, she says her farewell, they hug, and it was one of my favorite scenes. I wish that would have stayed in the film. But yeah, that's why Akane is my second favorite character in the film, aside from Bernie. Bernie is still my personal favorite, mainly because he's based off of Deadpool. But I guess I can talk about Bernie. Bernie, originally in the film, Bernie was the same. He wasn't really that funny, honestly. He had a couple of lines that were funny, but Bernie wasn't memorable. I think that's one of the reasons why I made this film at all, was to make Bernie and Lily memorable characters. And I think this film did it justice. And all it took was Bernie being like Deadpool, and for Lily to actually have character motivation and character development, and also becoming a goddess, which is also what happened in the film. But yeah, oh yeah, Lee. Let's talk about Lee. Yeah, he was thought about last minute. Be honest with you. Lee was only added because, one, the queen needed someone to interact with, because I don't think scenes by herself would have fit at all. And I think her minions originally were just undead samurai soldiers, in which they kind of are. They are still samurai soldiers, but Lee was working with Mr. Big in the beginning of the film to find the Empress. They did. Mr. Big dies. Then Lee becomes a servant to the Empress, and the only one that really has a mind of his own, while the minions were just brainwashed by the Empress and just became slaves or just soldiers. So I really like Lee. Despite how basic his design is, he's a really cool character. He got a pretty decent redemption arc in the end. Is it predictable? Yes, absolutely. But does it make sense why he turned against the Empress? Yes, because I think this was, I don't know if I've ever remembered if I filmed it, but one thing that Lee said, that he didn't want any of his soldiers getting hurt. He doesn't want anything to happen to them. He doesn't want her hurting them. But since she broke that deal, that's why he turned against her, because she broke their end of the deal. So Lee was thought about last minute. Do I think he's a good addition? Absolutely. I think he was a great addition to the cast. I think that's pretty much it. Like, characters wise, I've talked about Bernie, Lily. I don't think I talked about London, but I don't think London, I guess he was the same as he was in the original draft of the film, which was there. He was there. But even then, like, London didn't really do much, honestly. I wish I could have done more with him. But, London was kind of there, but he served his purpose really well, especially the side plot of him wanting to get something for Raven, but yet everything that's going on, like, he's like disappointed, but also he's trying to understand that, you don't need to get, well, it's not the case, but you don't really need to get your best friend anything to show that you care. Of course, it's your way of showing that you care for your friends, but regardless, they care that you're here. They care that they're in your life. That's all that matters to them. At least that's how I'm interpreting it, as someone who cares deeply about a friend in my life. I wanted to say something, but I'm afraid to say it. But
I can completely break the ice here and say thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
But yeah,
it sounds like a TED Talk.
Yeah, that's basically it, characters wise. I think that's pretty much it in terms of characters. I don't know if there's like really anything more to talk about aside from, because we went over the music, what was going to sound like. We went over the characters, the changes that I went through when it came to this film. I already talked about the OG plot of the film and how Lefty was going to be the main antagonist, but then I switched it because, Lefty was already a villain as it is. Everyone fucking knew that. And then, what else is there to talk about? I don't think there was anything else to talk about.
Did you already talk to them about how Kuro Kitsune was actually created?
What was that?
I said, did you already talk to them about how Kuro Kitsune was already created?
I couldn't understand that last bit. I'm sorry, dude. I'm trying to understand it as best as I can.
I'm going to assume my mic is incredibly fucking bad. I won't be surprised. Have you already talked to them about the Empress? The Empress.
Oh yes. Okay. How the fuck did I not talk about her? What in the hell's wrong with me? Yeah, the Empress. I What is there to say about her? I love the character design, even though I don't know if the OG like design of her is still in the Discord. It's somewhere in there. But like her design was basically how basically Lily looked in the final act of the film. But then I changed it, and then I remember we were coming up with names for her, right? The both of us were. Yeah, we were both coming up with names. And then we settled on Kuro Kitsune, which was Japanese for the black fox, which was basically in Japan, nine-tailed foxes or kitsunes are known as good luck charms or good luck spirits. But in the film, Kitsune is not that. She's like a full-on evil empress. So when I was designing the empress, I knew for a fact that I wanted her to be evil, to be flat out despicable, a monster. She was there to be a tyrant, an evil queen, basically. And then that's basically all she was, honestly. She had no deep meaning behind her character, aside from the fact that in her origin, it explains that she was a normal mortal being before she prayed to the gods to protect her land. Then she took advantage of it. She was trapped in stone by a warrior for thousands of years until she was awoken again. Boom, she goes on to becoming an empress and trying to take over the world. So yeah, that's basically it. That's all her character is, but I love her character. I love the design. I love the fact that she's really the only original ECU female antagonist that we have, and probably the last one we'll ever get, unfortunately. But yeah, the Empress, by far my favorite. My eyebrow hurts. Oh god. By far my favorite ECU antagonist that I've ever created. That's only counting the original ones. So the other ones like Shadow Freddy or Vanny do not count. They don't count, sorry. Because they're not original. I'm only counting original ECU antagonist characters that I've created. I don't know why I started at the end. I hate when that happens. Okay, now I guess it's time to touch upon some questions, maybe. If there's any questions, I'm looking through them right now. Already, even though the ECU is over, we have Bubsy and Francisco Fighter. Yeah, that's true. We do. Someone says I miss Freddy's. Oh my god, guys. Okay, I'm gonna be dead ass with you guys. I've actually been thinking about my own horror animatronic mascot horror movie. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm debating on it because I don't want to do it, but also I kind of want to do it. So I'm not gonna say anything about it because I haven't come up with anything about it. So don't ask about it, please. Oh yeah, Freddy's is dead. Don't ask about it, please. All right, another question we have is, will Shadow Freddy appear in Francisco Fighters? He already does. I'm gonna say that right now. Both him and Junior already appear in the Fighters. They are both they're both mafia members of Leonard, which crazy how Leonard went from being J. Jonah Jameson ripoff parody to now being a full-on giant lion mafia boss. I find that super funny, but also very fitting for a character like that. But yeah, both Shadow and Junior are...
Something really funny has just popped into my head regarding Leonard now. Bro's being hang on. Bro's instead of calling people a menace, he now is a menace.
He now is a menace. He literally now is a menace, yeah. But yeah, Shadow and Junior are in the Fighters. I haven't wrote anything about the Fighters in a while. I really want to get back into that, honestly, but Mason Origins is breathing down the back of my neck, and I need to get rid of it. Okay. Okay. Someone said, oh yeah, Plush, I don't know if you've seen it, but what are your thoughts on Dragon Ball? Oh, I don't watch Dragon Ball, guys. I may like anime, but I don't watch Dragon Ball. I don't hate Dragon Ball. I just don't watch it. Yeah, I know that the ECU is over, but I just wanted to know the roles of all the characters. Like, who are the main and protagonists? What in the hell? Yeah, I don't know how to answer that. Okay, can we see the old reboot plushies? What do you think my answer is going to be? Yeah, they're fucking gone. I threw them out like 2 years ago. They're gone. They're all gone. I don't give a fuck about them anymore. I think that's it. Questions wise, there's not a lot of people here. Then again, the goal was to really just talk about the film and talk about the OG plans and what the film was going to be. And I think we both served the purpose on telling you guys what the film was about, what it was going to be about, the OG story ideas, and also some of the cut content, mainly the music, but also some of the character design changes and also just character traits as a whole. You got anything to say, Mark?
I completely zoned out. What?
We all tend to do that, but yeah. We're just close to the near end of the stream. I was just telling them that we basically just went over everything we needed to talk about for the film. I don't know if there's anything else you wanted to add on it.
No, there isn't really anything.
All right. Well, if that's the case, guys, thank you guys for tuning in to this short stream. The only two people that are here. Oh, hold on. Yucky. Anyway, as for what's going to go down for content-wise, I don't know, honestly. I don't even know if Path Within or the Foxy movie is going to get made. I'm debating on it. I really am. Because it's ironic because I canceled both films and then Bernie and Lillie came out of nowhere. And now I'm just debating on whether the Foxy movie should really get made or not. But I don't know. If I can, I'll find a way to adapt it in the future if it ever comes to that point. But until then, unfortunately, it won't be made. But thank you guys for tuning in. Mark, thank you for coming in as well, for talking about Bernie and Lillie. Okay, I guess he's...
Yeah, no, I'm listening. I'm listening.
Okay. All right, well, thank you guys again for tuning in, and we'll see you guys later.